All right. Hi, everybody. If you're here for the branch product roadmap webinar, you've definitely come to the right place. We're going to give it a couple minutes just as people filter in, and then we'll get started. If you're just joining us, we're just waiting for, we're giving it a couple minutes to let people filter in, but you have reached the branch product roadmap webinar. We'll give it one more minute here. Again, if you're just joining, we're just waiting another minute or so to start, but you've reached the branch product roadmap webinar. You're in the right place. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the branch product roadmap deep dive webinar. This is actually the first time we've done one of these, so we're very excited actually to be able to share with you our latest product news via a webinar. My name is Sandy Herschel, and I will be your moderator for today. Before we jump into the meat of the webinar, I have a few housekeeping items to go over. The audience will be muted for the duration of today's webinar. We will have a Q&A at the end, so feel free to submit your questions throughout the session. There's a Q&A box below, and we'll get to them at the end. Additionally, this webinar is recorded, and you should receive the webinar recording in the next 24 hours at the email you used for registration. Finally, if you see any way for us to improve, please send your feedback to webinars@branch.io, and I will also provide that email again at the end. Great. Welcome again, everybody. I'm Sandy Herschel. I will be your host today. I'm part of the branch product marketing team, and full disclosure, I've been here about 3 months, so I'll definitely be learning along with all of you. But I'm very excited to introduce today's all-star team of branch product managers. And let me start by welcoming Yash Harish, who works on our Journeys product. Yash has been with Branch for almost 1 year. And prior to Branch, Yash held senior product roles at Sling Media and Moby TV. So welcome, Yash. Please also welcome Aaron Lopez, who recently moved into the product team after spending 4 years on the engineering side. The product team and all of us actually are very excited to gain his product insights and knowledge. But Aaron's going to be spending most of his time on building our linking products. So welcome, Aaron. And finally, I'd like to welcome Christine Hasrouni, who manages our scan and attribution products. Christine's been part of Branch for close to 2 years, and before Branch was a tech consultant in the media and technology industry. Welcome, Christine. And thanks to all of our product managers for joining today. So here's a quick agenda of what we want to cover today. We're going to give you a high-level look at the roadmap and timing. Then we'll jump into a deep dive of our product launch highlights, including NativeLink, which is our newest product, our Journeys improvements, and then a little bit about our ads product updates. Then we'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek into the future product roadmap, and then we'll lead into the Q&A. Before we get too far, I just want to give a little context on Branch and our products and how we help customers grow and better understand their users. So Branch was really created to solve a core problem that all brands experience. How do I get users who click my ads across multiple platforms and channels to engage with my app? And how do I capture attribution and measure the success? And the Branch platform was really built from the ground up to deliver a privacy-centric, deep linking and mobile attribution platform that converts your users into engaged, high-value app users, assigns proper attribution, and ensures privacy and security. And just to sum it up, and you really trust Branch to help you seamlessly deep link users and to provide all the data insights needed to understand how well your channels and campaigns are performing, while we ensure your proper attribution and privacy. And we all at Branch really treasure and appreciate that trust. So thank you. But enough about Branch, let's talk products. And let's start by taking a high-level look at the Branch roadmap. So this is our 50,000-foot view of the Branch roadmap, product roadmap. You can see it's broken up by time frame, short-term, medium-term, long-term. And we really decided not to put specific dates or a number of weeks and months until launch on this. We just wanted to give you some perspective on how we're prioritizing. We'll definitely talk about most of these products in our deep dive section, but I just wanted to walk through this slide first. So in the short term, it's all about really adjusting and creating solutions for the rapidly changing industry, landscapes changing, a lot of privacy changes. So what are the things we're doing is looking at short term, what are some of the feature improvements, enhancements to make products easier to use, create new innovations that will help solve some of those short-term problems. And so it's all about thriving in a rapidly changing industry. Then on the medium term, it's sort of building on what we've done in the short term. How do we create more value? How do we create the next level of product, right? So how do we create, make our Journeys product better? How do we create new linking solutions? And how do we create new innovation, all building on the short term? And so really, we want to give you, our customers, a lot of value and do it faster and across more channels. And then finally, long term. So short term, medium term is great, but we're thinking now about long term, right? We're putting resources and R&D into the long term and really starting to, we want to be proactive versus reactive on next gen technology. So next gen attribution tools, on device attribution. And then there's things that we haven't even thought of yet, or that, creating innovations that solve problems that haven't even happened yet. So just really starting to think about that. So that's sort of the core of how Branch is thinking about our product roadmap. And before we look forward, I just want to look a little bit backwards. So we've launched some great products in 2021, and I'm sure many of you are using them. If not, hopefully many of you will be using them very shortly into the future. We've recently launched QR codes, so QR code support. We've made added some permissions on our dashboard. We've made desktop SDK improvements. We've improved our scan support for Twitter, Snap, Google, and Facebook. We have enhanced conversion value mapping. And then we've updated our support framework for Apple search ads. And we have new TikTok cost API reporting. So all of these products are available today and available for use. All right. Now that we have a really high-level view, let's deep dive into the roadmap, since that's why you guys are all here. So we're going to start with our newest feature, NativeLink. And I'm going to turn over to Aaron, who, like I said, is our lead product manager for NativeLink and our linking products. So it's all yours, Aaron.
Thanks, Andy. Excited to dive in here. All right, so our latest deferred deep link innovation here, NativeLink. What we have is a 100% on-device solution that bridges the gap caused by private relay, utilizing the copy and paste clipboard functionality that's native to all OSs. This enables a 100% match guaranteed deferred deep linking through install without relying on any IP addresses. The user simply has to click on a blue button and we automatically copy the branch link that was clicked on to the clipboard. And on install, our SDK will fetch that URL This provides install and conversion attribution without any risk of tracking dropping off. Here's a visualization of how it works. What you see here is on the first slide, a user clicks on the link and is taken to the NativeLink interstitial. The blue button here is displayed with the text "Get the app." When the user clicks on that link, we copy the link to the clipboard and redirect the user to the App Store. When the user finally installs the app, the SDK will fetch that URL and present it as a deep link. So here, the user is deep linked to the friendly monster. And here's some great positive feedback we've gotten from some customers who have implemented NativeLink today. They're excited about the probabilistic matching, and they're excited to give users the choice of what user experience to choose from here. And some upcoming updates we have planned for this is supporting Android, creating parity across the two platforms, some creative customization, enabling our customers to have different colors, have different text, localization, of course, for those of you with a global presence, different languages per different regions. We also want to get a lot of insight into the opt-in rates when, what color of button users are clicking on. Is it the blue one? Is it the one at the bottom? And then also exporting the match guaranteed fields. That way, we can see the impact on our deep linking performance there. And now I'll turn it over to Yash to talk about journeys.
Thanks, Aaron. Hello, everybody. Journeys is one of our organic growth products that helps you acquire or re-engage app users from your web properties in a cost-effective manner. For the past few months, we have been shipping incremental usability improvements on the product. Most notably, we released enhancements to our filtering capability in the Manager tab, in addition to certain UI changes. And secondly, we added an alternative flow to manage a priority of a given journey. And currently, we are working on making it easier for you to manage your creatives independently by adding a new tab. Let's take a deeper look. So this is the inline priority feature, which we released recently. Before adding this feature, our customers were required to go into the priority view, drag and drop the journey for which they want to change the priority value and make the change. But this was not scalable across numerous journeys or journeys across numerous pages. And to solve for that, we added an alternative flow using which you can, within the filter view, hover on the priority value of a given journey. On hovering, a popover comes up, as you can see in this GIF file here, and make the edit and save your changes, and that's it. So it's a faster and easier way to manage the journey's priorities now with this feature. Moving on, we again added a lot of enhancements to the Manager tab or page within journeys. You can now select multiple values for the status filter for more targeted filtering. We have done numerous styling changes to the table UI, tab UI, and the create journeys button with the focus on getting attention to the call to action, and for also improving the aesthetics and adding an appealing visual experience. It's also faster now to look at the list of journeys across pages as you paginate through them. And yep, I think that's it. And now over to Christine to go over ads updates. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'll be covering some things that I've recently released and things that are coming soon. So first on the list, we have now support for cost on links. This was just launched in the last month or so. So before this, we were only ingesting cost data via API for some of the bigger self-attributing networks like Google, Facebook, Apple Search Ads, Snap, and most recently TikTok. But with this feature, we'll be able to ingest cost data from a number of different ad networks now via our tracking links. And so in some of those ad networks include Liftoff, Tapjoy, Ironsides, and Moloko. And there's also a list more, and they're all listed in our help docs if you guys want to take a look at that later. And so what it will require is that for any new campaign with these ad networks going forward, you'll want to generate a new ad link on our dashboard with the updated cost macros, and then we'll be able to calculate total cost spent on different campaigns. And this will help customers better understand the ROI and return on ad spend using our platform instead of having to go to your individual ad network dashboards and calculate that yourselves. So we're really excited about this update that is now available to you. Next. Another exciting update that will be coming soon, we're going to be updating our postback configuration tool. So something that's really great about Branch is that we do let our customers edit and tweak the postbacks that we send to ad networks and our data integrations as they would like. You can add different fields and macros as you wish. The problem is that the UI is sometimes not super user-friendly and not super intuitive, which we know causes a lot of pain with our customers when trying to update and create new postbacks. So we're going to update this to be a little bit more user-friendly. Right now, our postback template language is in FreeMarker, which not everyone knows. The syntax of that, having to know where do you put the exclamation mark and all that. So we're going to be removing that part of the UI from our customers. So it'll be more of like a key value pair system where you kind of select the macro that you want and what you're trying to portray without having to do any of the syntax or editing. So we're really excited to be launching this soon. Cool. And then we have a number of SK ad network updates. Now with iOS 14 launch or 14.5 launch earlier in the spring, we're definitely seeing customers having to rely a lot more on SK ad network data to look at their iOS campaign performance. And so there are a number of changes that we'll be doing to support that. Coming soon, we'll be supporting iOS 15 direct postbacks. So one of the announcements that came with iOS 15 is that customers will be able to receive a copy from Apple for those winning postbacks. It requires that you set up an endpoint in your app, and there's instructions on Apple. So we'll be providing customers an endpoint that will support, that will be able to ingest those copies for you. And then you'll be able to export that data as well. And so we'll do validation, and we'll be able to add color some of that data too, being able to tell you the ad network name, the conversion value mapping, et cetera. So we're excited about that update. And you'll get a little bit more transparency for some of those walled garden SANs that only provide some of that data in aggregate. So that'll be a really great update as well. And then we're going to be continually making dashboard updates to provide more data on the dashboard. Right now, a lot of the fields that you see listed on this slide are available in our exports, but we're not exposing them on the dashboard. So we'll make sure that those get exposed so that our dashboard is even more useful than it is now. Awesome. And then lastly, we are just about to launch our support for agency scan permissions. So the current state today, a lot of agencies have pretty restricted access to SK ad network data on our dashboard, which we realize is a pretty big blocker for some of our customers working with agencies. And so we're going to be giving more granular control to customers on what SK ad network data agencies should be able to see, regardless of what their agency permissions are in the grand dashboard permissions for the agency. So this should be launched in the next couple of weeks. And so we're really excited to get that out as well. So with that, I'm going to pass this back to Sandy.
Well, thank you, Christine. So we did promise you a sneak peek into our future product roadmap. So we're going to take a look at a few different products coming out probably within the next few months. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it back to Aaron, who's going to tell you all about our first product.
Thanks, Andy. All right, organic search attribution. This feature is currently in alpha, so we're working with a few customers and getting some early feedback. But it solves a problem that's existed for a long time. So what is it? As we all know, attribution is hard, and it's been even harder for search engines. All brands have faced a dilemma of whether they should have attribution for mobile links or prioritize web SEO traffic. So that's basically, should I enable a deep link to seamlessly take the user to the app by enabling things like universal links or Android app links? Or should I send the user to the mobile website where I have all of my SEO trackers and analytics tools there? But now with Branch, you're able to have both the seamless user experience and the tracking that you need to know the impact of SEO on your mobile app. So we're able to provide a holistic view amongst all of the other channels with this new organic search feature. You have the last touch attribution for all of this organic traffic, and giving the SEO team visibility into the traffic that they're driving into the app. And here we currently support these 6 partners on the right here: Google, Yandex, etc. So super excited, and this is coming soon. Yeah, next feature I wanted to talk about is our link templates. This is essentially an easy to use tool to create quick link templates. Now you can have pre-built link templates for different use cases. Sometimes it's hard to manage link data keys or analytic tags amongst different teams. Now anyone with very little deep link knowledge can go into the Branch dashboard and select one of the pre-built templates that someone on the team has set up for them. And without any knowledge of that, can create a deep link with the proper tagging to ensure there's less errors and less discrepancies long-term. And this could be used pretty much for any quick link on our Branch dashboard. So super excited to get this out to enable all of our customers to create unified, clean, deep links for better measurement and user experiences. Now over to Yash.
Thanks, Aaron. Currently on the journey side, we are working on this new exciting feature, which will help you manage your creatives with an independent workflow. A lot of our customers expressed the pain point or concern that they currently face when they're collaborating across teams to build or define journeys. Currently, we require customers to define a journey to be able to add new creatives and assign to it automatically. So with this feature, we are adding a new tab to manage creatives independently. What that means is you could go to this tab to start defining or editing a creative and assign it to a journey later on, once the journey's definition is available. So making the whole workflow of the journey definition itself more flexible and independent. And yep, this is something you should expect to be rolled out in the market in the next couple of months. Thank you. And over to Christine again.
Awesome. And one of the future coming updates for our engagement builder is we're going to be adding new integrations with both Facebook and Google so that you can send the audiences that you create using Engagement Builder directly to Google and Facebook. Today, the flow is that you have to download that device file and then upload it to all the ad networks that you want to use that audience. And so with this update, we'll kind of remove that manual process, at least for Facebook and Google, and you'll be able to send those off in an automated fashion. So that'll be coming soon as well. And now I'm going to hand it back to Sandy.
All right. Thank you, team. I just wanted to close the loop by giving you another look at the Branch roadmap. Hopefully you learned a lot today about the Branch products and how much they can help you and help your partners grow and succeed. We're very excited. Like we said, this is the first time we've done this, so very excited to be able to share this with you. But that is the end of the slide portion of the webinar. And we want to move into Q&A. So if you have any questions, now would be the time to sort of put them in the Q&A section below. And I will go ahead and monitor that. So give me a second here. Okay, let me start with a question here. I think this is for you, Aaron. Can you share a little bit more about how organic search attribution works?
Yeah, of course. So the way it works is every app or anyone with a search presence on any organic search channel probably has some website in which they have been measuring SEO traffic before about. So let's just say exampleecommerce.com. Exampleecommerce.com, all they'd have to do is configure a Apple App Set Association file or an Android asset links file to essentially enable universal and Android app links on those domains, and host that file at a specific path, and branch when those links are opened and are driven to the app through the opens. Branch will essentially publish a touch click for those opens that occurred and tag them with the appropriate search channel that drove that conversion. So if it's DuckDuckGo, we'd go ahead and tag the channel as DuckDuckGo and publish a touch click for that and use that for any downstream attribution. So in that user flow, if I click on exampleecommerce.com, I'm taken to the app, the click is published. That means that that would be the last touch. So any conversion event that happens thereafter would be attributed to that same touch point. Could be attributed to any of those search channels.
Cool. And then there's a follow-up question here on same. How does organic search attribution work with native links? You mentioned going directly into an app, not a web page, but native links goes through a web page.
That's a great question. Logan, I see here that you asked that one. So for organic search attribution specifically, these are links that are already on Google search results, for example. It could be Google, it could be any other channel. So in that specific flow, since it's on the top level website domain, those historically are not necessarily branch links already. Those historically would just go to a website, right? So it'd be like exampleecommerce.com. You can imagine those results are there. So since it wasn't a branch link, the native link use case doesn't necessarily apply there. These are ones that were historically going to the website, but now are going to be driving to the app if the universal links and Android app links are configured properly. And universal links and Android app links really are only intended to work when the app is installed. So the native link use case specifically is more about converting a user when the app is not installed, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Don't forget, if you have any questions, to drop them in the Q&A box at the bottom. So Aaron, a question for NativeLink. Is that available now, or is that have to wait till iOS 15 is launched? And then what steps do I need to take to activate NativeLink?
Yeah, great question. So NativeLink is generally available to all of our customers now. There is a checkbox on your link configuration page to enable that. You could select up to one of three different audience settings there, including you could essentially target iOS 15 users plus. You could target private relay traffic only. You could also choose to target all iOS traffic. So that's the first requirement. Second requirement is there is a compatible SDK update required. And that is, I believe, iOS version 1.39.4. And there is a new method there that you must implement to essentially enable the SDK to retrieve this native link from the clipboard in. You just simply have to call that enablement method before the branch SDK is initialized to ensure that we're able to retrieve the links from the clipboard. Hopefully that answers that question.
That's great. We still have Still waiting for more questions. I know you guys have questions. Don't be shy. So Yash, is there anything more you can share on Journeys and what's the future look like for Journeys?
Sure. In terms of upcoming feature sets beyond what we just went through, we are trying to work on defining something called creatives optimization, which would allow customers who are A/B testing the various creatives for a journey to look at the data, statistical data, to infer which of those creative is going to outperform the others, and based on that, make an informed choice and make it available to a wider audience. So that's again something we are excited to start working on soon. And I think, yeah, more details will be shared as we start adding more details, more requirements, and start the implementation.
Great. Thank you, Yash. So we'll give it another minute to see if there's any other questions. Okay, maybe another 20 seconds. Okay, if there's no more questions, then we want to thank everyone for attending. If you do have any feedback or suggestions, you can definitely send it our way, and you can send it to webinars@branch.io. Again, thanks for attending. And as a reminder, you will get a link to the slides in your email tomorrow morning. If you have any issues, just let us know. But thank you everyone for attending, and we appreciate your time.